Well, that was a hot mess inside a dumpster fire, inside a train wreck. That was the worst debate I have ever seen. In fact, it wasn't even a debate. It was a disgrace. And it's primarily because of President Trump, who spent the entire time interrupting, not abiding by the rules that he agreed to, lying, maliciously attacking the son of the vice president. When asked to condemn white supremacists, he brought up the name of a neo-fascist far-right group and said, stand back and stand by. We'll talk about who won the debate, who lost the debate, but I can tell you one thing for sure. The American people lost tonight, because that was horrific.
You just took the words out of my mouth. You used some high-minded language. I'm just going to say it like it is. That was a shit show. And, you know, we're on cable. We can say that. Apologies for being maybe a little bit crude, but that is really the phrase that I'm getting, more, from people on both sides of the aisle on text, and it's the only phrase that I can think of to really describe it. And I couldn't agree with you more, Jake. The people who have been hurt the most by that are the people who are genuinely looking to see what each candidate stands for and who they should vote for. There are still people out there who haven't made up their mind either on which candidate to vote for or whether to vote. And I'm not sure that, particularly on the latter point, that performance and the theater there, the reality TV show, the bad reality TV show, is going to help them in the least.
Yeah, I mean, it was a complete disaster on all fronts. And I think if you came into this thinking that, two men in their 70s who want to be the leader of the free world for the next 4 years could have a reasonable exchange of ideas, you came away from this debate thinking that's not possible, because you could hardly even hear them at certain points. There was so much crosstalk one over the other. But Jake, as you pointed out, we should be really clear here. This is not both sides type of situation. There was one party on that stage interrupting, yelling over the moderator. And from the very beginning, I think what was so striking to watch was that usually these debates build and they build and they build to the end. We started at a 12 on a scale from 1 to 10. The president was really, I think, in a very agitated state very early on in the debate, and the tone was set from that.
And can I tell you, I've heard already from people who very much support the president, want him to do well, as this was going on, that he was way too hot. They knew that he was going to be aggressive. They knew, as we talked about beforehand, that he was going to try to be on offense as much as possible. But this took it too far, even for Donald Trump.
You have repeatedly criticized the vice president for not specifically calling out Antifa and other left-wing extremist groups. But are you willing tonight to condemn white supremacists and militia groups and to say that they need to stand down and not add to the violence in a number of these cities, as we saw in Kenosha and as we've seen in Portland?
Sure,
are you
I'm
prepared
willing
to
do
specifically
that, but
do it? Well, go ahead, sir.
I would say almost everything I see is from the left wing, not from the right wing.
So what are you saying?
I'm willing to do anything. I want to see peace.
Then do it, sir.
Say it. Do it. Say it.
Do you want to call him? What do you want to call them? Give me a name. Give me a
white
name.
Supremacists and
Who would you like me to condemn?
White supremacists and right-wing militia.
Stand back and stand by. But I'll tell you what. Somebody's got to do something about Antifa and the left, because this is not a right-wing problem.
This
is a left-wing.
FBI director
This is a left-wing problem.
White supremacists. Antifa's an idea, not an organization.
Oh, you got to be
not
kidding.
malicious. That's what his FBI. His FBI director said.
Well, then you know what?
We're done, sir. We're moving on to the next. We're moving.
When a bat hits you over the head, that's not an idea.
Everybody in your administration tells you the truth has a bad idea.
Can I tell you what?
You have no ideas.
Antifa is a dangerous,
all right,
radical
gentlemen,
group.
we're now moving. You get the final word, Mr.
Well, it's hard to get any word in with this clown. Excuse me, this.
Hey, let me just say to you.
No. I'm Mr. President.
$3.5 million, Joe.
That is simply
Why did he deserve $3.5 million from Moscow?
Look, here's the deal. We want to talk about families and ethics. I don't want to do that. I mean, his family we could talk about all night. His family's already...
My family
already
lost
wrote.
a fortune by coming down and helping us with government.
And that's such a...
Mr. President.
Every single one of them lost
This
a
is not
fortune
about
by
my
coming and
family or
helping
his
us with
family. It's
government.
about your family,
They
the
didn't
American
collect
people.
$3.5 million
He
for
doesn't...
nothing.
That's not true. It doesn't want to talk about what you need. You, the American people. It's about you. That's what we're talking about
you
here.
All right,
Take
that's the end of the
Shouldn't have
segment.
taken the money.
We're moving on.
He didn't take them.
Well,
Vice
it's a very-
President,
but Chris,
no.
Can I be honest? It's a very important
Try to be
question.
honest.
He stood up.
No,
he stood up
the answer to
and
the
he
question is
threatened
no.
Ukraine.
No, sir.
With $1 billion, if you
That
don't get rid
is
of the
absolutely
you know what, you're- wait,
not
stop.
You're
true.
on tape doing it.
You're going to
You're on
have...
tape.
True.
Gentlemen,
Is-
I hate to raise
Chris,
my voice,
he's
but
on
it seems
tape.
to be, why should I be different than the two of you? So here's the
Got a
deal.
good point.
We have 6 segments. We have ended that segment. We're going to go to the next segment. In that segment, you each are going to have 2 uninterrupted moments. In those 2 uninterrupted minutes, Mr. President, you can say anything you want. I'm going to ask a question about race, but if you want to answer about something else, go ahead. But I think that the country would be better served if we allowed both people to speak with fewer interruptions. I'm appealing to you, sir, to do that.
Well, and him too.
Well, frankly, you've been doing more interrupting
Well, that's
than
all
he
right,
has.
but he does plenty.
Well, less than, sir, less
there's
than...
plenty.
No, less than you have. Let's please continue on.